The same blood of their father flowed through their veins. The two battled each other fiercely like arch-enemies. It seemed as if they derived some sort of twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting. But in the end...
Okay, hello, I am here now.
One was left standing.
Also, when I said I really like the Destroy Man fight in No More Heroes 2, I like everything until you actually kill one of the Destroy Men. When the other guy just starts flying around, it's really annoying. But I like fighting two guys at once. I have to tweet all of this and wait for some people to roll in. I am going solo for this stream because everybody's kind of busy this week, it seems. So I guess I will just answer people's questions in the stream once people get here. Also, if it takes me forever to answer anybody's questions, it's because I'm pretty sure the stream has like a 4-second lag on it. It might actually be more. My internet's on the fritz right now, so... Also, yeah, you might have to refresh the stream or something. Also, get ad blocker. You'll never get ads. Okay, so I am currently playing in hard mode in Devil May Cry 3, but in the HD collection, Devil May Cry 3 is actually the special edition of Devil May Cry 3, which was a second release like a year after the first one came out, and the difficulty modes are different. The original release, normal mode in the American version, was the hard version in Japan. But then they switched it back around for the special edition, so I'm playing in hard, which was originally normal mode, I think. And I don't know, maybe I'll play as Devil May Cry 1 Dante. I really like the Devil May Cry games, but I've never actually played anything beyond like normal mode. I've never actually owned any of them either, despite really liking them. I always rented them, and I think I only beat 3. I never beat 1 until recently.
You've heard of it, haven't you?
Also, I'm going to let the cutscenes play if there are people in here who aren't familiar with Devil May Cry.
Stories about it. Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic realm and sealed the evil entities off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself,
Somebody mentioned you can shoot and slash the loading screen. They took that out of the HD edition. It doesn't work.
I thought it was just a child's fairy tale. But I discovered that this so-called legend wasn't a myth at all.
Not entirely
Spirits
sure
existed.
why it's gone.
How do I know? Well, I met
Also,
my
the new Devil May Cry that just released today is not a remake, or a remake, what the hell am I saying? A remake of Devil May Cry 1.
the two battled
It's an entirely, like, new reboot that borrows plot points from Devil May Cry 1 and 3. Remake.
seemed as if they derived some sort of twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting.
Yeah, basically the new Devil May Cry is the plot of They Live, with the Slurm Queen from Futurama in it.
But in the end,
Remake.
only one was left standing.
Oh, the capture card I'm using for this, I just use a Avermedia HD PVR, which is completely identical to the Hoppage HD PVR. It's like 160 on sale. It's normally like $200. Also, if you think this game's trying to be dramatic, you should see the new Devil May Cry.
Sorry, not open for business.
The game is way up its own ass.
I haven't even picked a name for this joint, and I'm already getting calls.
And yes, this is supposed to be hilarious.
You a customer too? Well, if you want to use the bathroom, help yourself. The toilet's in the back.
Is your name Dante, son of Sparda?
Where did you hear that?
Also, even though this is Devil May Cry 3, you don't need any knowledge of the Devil May Cry games because this is a prequel to all of them. You don't really need any knowledge when you play any of them because all the plots are kind of their own thing and very loosely connected.
Invitation, huh? This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Oh, and this part right here where Dante surfs on an enemy, that's an actual move you can do in the game. It's not very useful, but it's pretty fun. And pizza isn't an unlockable weapon, but you do get an electric guitar that shoots bats. Yeah, so that's the opening to Devil May Cry 3. The opening to the new Devil May Cry is Dante at like a strip club, and then he gets a blowjob and gets laid. And then like a really big demon comes to like the trailer he lives in, and then he shoots his trailer with a grappling hook or something, and it's really dumb. So I don't know how much stuff I'm going to be explaining in this. Since I've beaten the game once, I have like everything unlocked basically, except for some of my styles haven't leveled up already, or to the max yet. I have Trickster and Swordmaster at level 3. Gunslinger and Royal Guard haven't leveled up to 3 yet. So for people who aren't familiar with this series, Devil May Cry 3 was the first to introduce styles. And basically, each style gives you different moves. Like, if you have Trickster equipped, you have more dodges than normal. Swordmaster gives you more melee moves. Gunslinger gives you more moves for your guns. And Royal Guard is a really hard-to-use style at first that's just about blocking and counterattacking. I think Trickster and Swordmaster are the ones I use the most. Gunslinger is like really situation specific, and Royal Guard's just hard to use for a while. Then there's Quicksilver, which is just like a slow-mo thing, and Doppelganger, which just lets you control 2 Dantes at once. But I think I'm going to use Trickster for this. I like using Trickster a lot. I think all the pros use Trickster and Royal Guard, because Royal Guard is just really hard to get used to. So you have guns and then melee weapons. You have some standard guns. You have Ebony and Ivory, which is in every game, as well as a shotgun. Then you have Artemis, which is like a crazy laser gun that locks on to multiple enemies. You have Spiral, which is a really slow sniper rifle. And then you have Kalina Ann, however you say it, which is like a grappling hook rocket launcher that also shoots homing missiles if you have Gunslinger equipped. Also, yeah, the different... Somebody asked this. The different difficulty modes do affect the game. I think enemies do get a health and damage boost, but it's not really bad unless you're playing in the hardest, which is Dante Must Die mode, which makes the game kind of tedious. But yeah, each difficulty mode, the harder the game gets, the enemy spawns become different. Harder enemies from the end of the game start appearing earlier in the game, and they become more aggressive. So that's nice. I guess it works the same in the new Devil May Cry as well. For melee weapons, we have Rebellion, which is just a sword. We have Cerberus, which is a 3-pronged nunchuck thing. Agni and Rudra, which are 2 different elemental swords. Nevin, which is an electric guitar that shoots bats, and it's really hard to use at first. And then there's Beowulf, which are just gauntlets and boots that you punch and kick shit with. They're alright. Oh yeah, the electric guitar turns into a scythe too. Yeah. But for this, I'm just going to go with Rebellion, Cerberus, and the pistols and the shotgun. None of the weapons in this game really suck. There are a couple that, when you first use them, don't really seem that effective, like Nevin. But that's because they're more situation-specific, and they just take a longer time to master. Like Nevin, I'll show that off later. Nevin is like a kind of a crowd control / stun locking weapon, and it's just really hard to get used to. So I don't know how much I'll be able to explain while I'm actually playing the game, because I'm on hard mode and it's a little more hectic than before. Also, I'm playing as Devil May Cry 1 Dante right now. Otherwise, he'd be shirtless right now. But yeah, Nevin can stun lock enemies like crazy. Get over here. Since I have Trickster up to level 3 now, I can do like this little short teleport to enemies. Like this. It also makes you appear above them, so you can do like Helmbreaker, which is this move with a sword where I just fall straight down onto an enemy. Sorry, I'm concentrating a whole bunch right now. That meter you can see on the right is your style meter. It just tells you how good you are doing at the moment. It starts at B or D and goes all the way up to triple S, which is Smokin' Sick Style. You can't just spam the same move over and over again to get a good style rating. You have to constantly switch up your moves, because if you spam the same move over and over again, your style rating will actually start to go down. So it's important to use a whole bunch of moves and also switch between weapons frequently. Also, I haven't taunted yet. Oh, never mind. The mission's over! I can't taunt! I completely forgot to taunt. But yeah, taunting is like one of the best things, because you just act like an asshole, and it makes your style rating go up a whole bunch. The pizza!
I can already tell. Looks like this is gonna be one hell of a party!
And at the end of the mission, it rates you in a whole bunch of things. Orbs in this game are just money. Those were the red things shooting out at enemies. Oh yeah, I got my favorite rank in the game. Ass! With a lot of S's, so... I suppose say it like you're a snake. Yeah, and the guy in the stream is right. When the end of the mission gets shot up with a bunch of bullet holes, the more bullet holes there are, the better you did. So if there's a ton of bullets shooting the screen, it probably means you got an A or an S. There's also an SS rank, and you only get that if every single parameter is an S rank. And I always get an A on this. You have to have like a minute and 20 seconds to get S on this. And how do I feel about Devil May Cry 2? It's bad. Maybe I'll show that later, but Devil May Cry 2 is a really bad game. Like, people who are upset about the new Devil May Cry, like, even that game isn't bad like Devil May Cry 2 is. New Devil May Cry just kind of seems a little soulless and just kind of okay aside from the story, but it doesn't look like it's shitty or anything. But yeah, you have to see Devil May Cry 2 to believe how bad it is. It is the most dull thing. It is just so... Everything is just brown, and all the enemies are boring, and you only have a couple of combos, and you never get new weapons. You just get different swords that have slightly different stats to them. Blech. So let's see. Should I switch stuff up? Maybe I'll... Yeah. I'm gonna switch Cerberus with Agni and Rudra, which are two swords. I should also mention that these two swords are from a boss that you beat later, and at the bottom of each sword is actually the boss's head, and they're actually talking swords, but they never actually talk when you use them because Dante tells them to shut up. I think Devil May Cry 3 is better than Devil May Cry 1, but Devil May Cry 1 is still very good. but I think the first game has more design problems. I think the camera angles are worse, and a lot of the secret missions are kind of crappy. But yeah, Devil May Cry 1 still holds up, I think. Devil May Cry 4 is also great, despite the problems it has. The combat itself is fantastic. I think it's the best in the series, actually, when you play as Dante. It's just that the level design is a little bland at times, and when you're playing as Dante, you're just going backwards through all the levels you've already played. Also, yeah, I will do more Heavy Rain at some point, I just don't know when. I don't want Bugsnark to also get in my streams all the time, because we are also doing Peace Walker at the same time. So maybe once Peace Walker's finished, we'll do Heavy Rain again. I don't know. Also, yeah, for people who aren't familiar with Devil May Cry, you might not know that the original Devil May Cry was actually a prototype for Resident Evil, a new Resident Evil game. I don't know if it was supposed to be a prototype for 4, or if it was just supposed to be a spin-off Resident Evil game. But, yeah. And there's a taunt for you. Hooray! Oh, damn it, got hit. So when you get hit, your style goes down all the way to D. And these red guys are kind of assholes. I always get hit by them. Because they can kind of jump off this screen and then kind of jump in. They're kind of annoying to fight in open areas. Oh, this guy's just a bomb. You shoot him a bunch and he blows up. Come on. There we go. Got that guy out of the way. Can I get some? Yeah, I can get somebody a million stab. There we go. Oh, and so for how oh yeah, this is the first boss of the game, I suppose, but he's actually just a normal enemy that you fight a bunch later on. They just introduce him as a boss in the first... Whoops, wrong weapon. You can also parry attacks, like you just saw there with that little flash. If you hit an enemy's attack at the same time, you can parry him. I don't think you can do that for all enemies, but, whoops. Damn it. But yeah, the enemy has about the same amount of health every time you fight him, but they don't appear that often. I can only think of like 3 or 4 times on normal mode. And yeah, these levels get longer. The first 2 are pretty short. They're just combat tutorials, basically. So yeah, when your rank gets higher, somebody asked this, when your rank gets higher you get more red orbs, and I'm pretty sure the orbs enemies drop the instant they die, depends on what style rank you had when you kill them. That's how it worked in Devil May Cry 1 at least. But also you get more orbs at the end ranking screen for your total rank. Yeah, so that guy in the blue coat you saw, that's Virgil. He's in the new DMC as well, and he looks pretty similar, except he wears a fedora now, so... It's weird how similar Virgil in the new one looks to old Virgil when the new Dante got changed up so much. Oh, can I get... Oh, no, there's a B. Abs. I was hoping for another ass. Nice abs, Dante.
I come. Well, doesn't it excite you?
I think the Wii U's okay. I mean, I own one. I don't think most people should get one, like, yet.
This earth is the medium
Because, you know, there aren't really, like, any games for it yet. Unless you really want Zombie U or Mario or Rayman when it comes out. But there's, like, 2 Platinum games being made for it right now. The Wonderful 101, which looks like a cross between, like, Beautiful Joe and Pikmin. And there's also Bayonetta 2. Also, yeah, Nintendo Land is really fun, actually.
That's none of my concern. Did he have it?
Of course.
There's like a co-op Pikmin game on it that I played with my dad for a while. It's actually a lot of fun.
It is the only memento left from the mother you both lost.
But he has no idea of its true power.
No, my dad's doing stuff. He won't be here. And yeah, Virgil's all about the Hanzo
I
steel.
found it.
Like, he is so into the Hanzo steel, like, in this game, he thinks guns are dishonorable, so he never uses them. He's that kind of guy. Maybe that's why they gave him the fedora in the new DMC. It just kind of fits him. Also, if you noticed, all those demons, that were on fire turned into a 3. The cutscene before each mission, the mission number is hidden in the cutscene somewhere. So, like, before mission 1, the number 1 was on Dante's pizza box, and then for mission 2, there was a billboard with number 2 on it. Sword... No, I'm gonna keep sitting with Trickster. I like Trickster a lot. This game is 20 missions long. You could probably beat it in like 8 to 10 hours. But I have like 30 hours in this game right now, and that's because like the higher difficulties are actually different and they're fun to go through. Oh shit. I think I'm gonna keep sitting with these weapons for now. It is a lot of fun to replay. And this is the first level of the game that isn't, like, super short. Also, these enemies are assholes, and I hate them. Damn it! Son of a bitch, they always get me. It doesn't help that I was dodging straight into a barrel that explodes. There. God, I hate those guys. Oop! There's an explodey guy there. I'll just ignore him. They usually blow up by themselves eventually if you wait long enough. Like that. Ah, damn it. So anytime the red guys, like, jump back, that means they're about to attack you. Like that. So then you can just jump a little bit in the air and they completely miss, because they kind of sweep at your feet with their sickles. Whoops. Completely missed that. Also, the game is pointing to that board on the wall because it is originally where you find the shotgun, but since I grabbed it, it's not there. Also, when you break those jukeboxes, it plays a little song before it dies, and it's actually, I think it's the battle music from the first Devil May Cry. Also, this is a strip club, and there's a pole here, and Dante can swing on it. I think the name for this move is called pole play. Oh, and for how combos work, with melee weapons, you just use one button, the triangle button, to attack. And the combos are just timing based, like 3 triangles in a row do this combo. If you do one hit and then wait for a second and then hit triangle again, you do this combo. If you do that same combo but then mash the button a ton at the end, you do million stab. And the amount of stabs he does changes depending on how good your style ranking is. So the higher your style ranking, the longer he stabs for and the more damage it does as well. Since I have a stylish now, I can just go forever with million stab. Whoops. I'm missing a bunch now. Ah, hell. Well, I'm not going for S ranks, I'm just trying to beat hard mode before I move on to very hard, and then maybe I'll do Dante Must Die? Dante Must Die is kind of tedious, though. There we go. No, actually, the difficulty mode where you die in one hit is Heaven or Hell. In Heaven or Hell mode, you and enemies all die in one hit. It's just kind of like a gimmick difficulty mode, because all you really do on Heaven or Hell is you just run around, shoot ebony and ivory really fast, and hope everything dies before you get hit. Also, this door here is a secret mission. There are just random things you can examine in most of the missions that send you on secret missions. And if you beat them, you get a blue orb fragment, and all blue orb fragments are like heart pieces. You get 4 of them, and your health bar gets an extra segment. I've gotten all of them though, which is why I have 2 health bars now. This one's pretty simple. You just have to kill all the enemies in the time limit. But I could easily mess this up, because there's probably more enemies in this one. Because the secret missions get changed too in the higher difficulty modes. It's better just to hit everything with a 3-hit combo, really, instead of going for style, if you actually want to beat it. Ah, crap. Is that it? Oh, I actually did it. Oh, that's something I didn't actually know, that all the secret missions are locked at 1 difficulty. But yeah, some of the special missions are really hard. Some of them are just kind of dumb, too. Like, the final one in this game is just a platforming thing. And Devil May Cry doesn't really work when it tries to do platforming. Anyways, here comes the first actual boss of the game. Also, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I might do an LP of Devil May Cry 3, but the gimmick would be, it'd be a side-by-side LP with the new Devil May Cry. Because I know, it seems that there's lots of people who aren't really invested in this series, who are kind of confused as to why the new Devil May Cry has made so many fans like really angry, blah blah blah. So I think it might be an interesting LP to compare like what is supposed to be the best in the original series with the new reboot and all that. It'd also be really easy to do side by side because each game has exactly 20 missions. Alright, so the first boss is Cerberus. And this boss fight is kind of a bitch. Especially the first time you play. He's just kind of a big roadblock of difficulty. So he has 3 heads in which each head has its own like special attack. And each head has different colored eyes, and whichever head is in the center dictates which attack it's going to do. I mean, they all share similar attacks, but they all have their own unique attack. Okay, here we go. Devil Trigger time. If you attack his paws a lot, he'll eventually fall down. He'll also regenerate this ice, which is armor for him, so you have to knock it off to really do any kind of damage to him. Whoops. And it's really easy to knock off with a shotgun when you're close. It just blasts it off in 1 or 2 shots. I could lock on the correct head. I think the head with the yellow eyes is the worst one, because that's the one that does the drop icicles on you attack, which is probably the hardest to dodge. There we go. Ah, damn it. I taunted and got hit while I was taunting. That was dumb. Yeah, it has long range attacks too. That's mostly dropping the icicles on you. It also has a lunge attack. Like it's stuck to this wall with chains, but every once in a while it'll shake its heads. And it'll break chains, and when it only has one chain, it does that lunge attack at you, which goes across the whole arena. Whoops. Should probably shoot the ice off his heads. Whoop! He'll also shoot big things of ice at you sometimes. I like to use the Trickster one for this because he's pretty dangerous up close. Because he has like that headbutt attack that comes out really fast, and it has almost no tell for when he's going to do it, except for squatting down. And once you do enough damage to a head, it'll just break off. And when that head is gone, it means it can't do whatever attack is associated with that head. Whoop. Whoop, no, attack the heads. Whoops. There we go.
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
Regardless, you have proved your strength. I acknowledge your ability. Take my soul and go forth. You have my blessing.
Oh, I didn't explain Devil Trigger. You get that like 7 missions, 8 missions into the game. You have a little meter, those little circles below his health bar. When you use Devil Trigger, you turn into Dante's demon form, whatever, and you do more damage and your health regenerates. Enemy attacks can't knock you over or anything, but you still take damage. And also, it's just kind of neat. But yeah, the giant ice dog turns into nunchucks, and that's where you get the Cerberus weapon from. I think for the hypothetical DMC3 and new DMC LP, it would be each update would be one mission for each game, but they would be separate videos. I wouldn't want to put them in the same video. That's just what Dante does. He rides on missiles. It's like twin snakes up in here.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Probably get like a B on this mission, I think. Maybe an A? I did kind of shitty with damage. I got a D on that. B sads. Oh, I got an A. I don't have to be sad. I'm awful. I'm terrible. Shoot me now.
Looks like we have an uninvited guest.
Is that so?
A human. A woman.
Yeah, the nunchucks are just named Cerberus after the boss.
Leave. That is what you want. Actually, I happen to be acquainted with that woman. A storm is approaching.
Okay, I suppose I will switch styles to Sword Master, which means my melee weapons will have more moves. Spiral, sure, why not? I'll switch over to Beowulf. So I'm getting money, but I don't really need any money because I bought everything worth getting, which is just blue orbs that extend your health and purple orbs that extend your devil trigger meter, and then I bought all the moves for all the weapons, so... Oh, actually, you're right. If I'm gonna have Spiral, I should have Royal Guard on me. Show why. Oh, I didn't know that. I actually missed the speedrun of MGS3, so that's neat. I'll have to check out the recording of that. Alright, so I'm definitely not going to get a good rank for time on this mission because I always forget to go where in this specific mission. Just because the layout of this specific level is kind of confusing. I think I go in the blue door first. Alright, so I have Beowulf on, which is just a lot of punches and kicks. They're kind of slow but hard hitting. You can like charge each hit if you hold down the button. It has a really short range though, so it's kind of crappy at like closing gaps. Even like its one gap closing move doesn't go that far. So yeah, it's better like Stinger into something and switch into Beowulf then when you're already close. But yeah, somebody said to have Royal Guard while I have the Spiral weapon. Spiral is just like a big sniper rifle thing. But you can see it has like a really big delay where you're just waiting for the recoil to finish off. But I also have the Royal Guard style equipped, which gives me this guard move where I can make Dante dance. So if you fire it and then Royal Guard right away, you can cancel out of the cooldown animation and then shoot the gun much faster. There's actually a lot of this type of stuff in the combat system, and it's kind of what makes Devil May Cry pretty cool. There's also switch canceling. I did it a couple times in the previous level. Switch canceling is switching weapons to cancel out animations of the previous weapon's attack. And this works really well with the shotgun, because there's usually kind of a delay between each shot with the shotgun. But if you have Ebony and Ivory, which shoots really fast, you can just switch... hell. I hate these things! You can kind of switch to Ebony and Ivory really fast, and then immediately switch back to the shotgun, and then you can fire the shotgun really fast. There's a whole bunch of other stuff like that that I'm not entirely familiar with, because I haven't actually played this game enough to know that stuff. Whoop. Ah, fucking things. Whoop. Yeah, there's actually using some block canceling in combat. It's a little harder to pull off when you actually have to worry about things hitting you, but it's really satisfying when you actually do it right. Whoop. Whoop. The door almost grabbed me. Also, yeah, it does seem enemies have a little bit more health because those stupid archer guys usually die in 3 or 4 hits, I think? 4 hits from the rebellion. Oh, that's right, you gotta get the little pitchfork thing. So since Devil May Cry was kind of an offshoot of Resident Evil at first, it has a lot of Resident Evil-y things in it. You have to get a lot of keys to open other things, like in Resident Evil, the older ones. You put a lot of things into slots. Also, there's a puzzle here. Like, you have this switch here you hit to turn this elevator on, but all the statues weigh it down. So you have to break the statues for the elevator to go up. And later on, those statues become enemies. Whoops. I'm not particularly good with Beowulf yet, I just haven't used it that much. More guys? Oh, they're way over here. I wouldn't be able to keep my style going for that long. Whoops. Anytime those guys start to inhale, that means they're about to hit you with an attack where they just like shoot dirt at you, sand. I think these enemies are all supposed to be made out of sand. He got me on the side. You can also go into Million Stab at in the middle of a stinger. The stinger move is where I just kind of lunge really fast with the sword. And you start mashing triangle while you're like mid-stinger. I keep getting grabbed by the door. My Zone of the Enders LP isn't on my site right now because I'm actually going to be redoing it for when I do Zone of the Enders 2. There we go. And the stairs break. Oh no! You can never reach the other... Actually, I wonder if you can reach the other side when you have Trickster equipped, or if there's an invisible wall there. And these bomb guys, you can just one-shot with this sniper rifle. Ah. Ah, hell. You can see I haven't used like Royal Guard at all aside from canceling the rifle because I am no good at Royal Guard timing at all yet. Royal Guard's kind of hard to use with the big crowds of enemies like this. It really shines a lot more when you're fighting bosses or singular really big enemies because then you can just block all their attacks. The way Royal Guard works is if you just have it up and you get hit, you take less damage. But if you don't block until the instant the attack is about to hit you, you do a Just Guard. And that negates all damage. And the other thing with Royal Guard is every time you get hit, either just normal guard or just guard, you build up rage, and then you can, which is just like stored up damage, and then you can unleash all that damage as like a really big attack, which is how some people wipe out enemies' health like really fast. This boss is weird. I don't know what is up with this guy. I think he's called the Gigapede. I don't know. He's just a big thing. Doesn't do much, but aside from fly around and shoot orbs at you sometimes, I'm not even hitting it with the rifle. I need to be locked on. If you're close enough, it can just automatically lock onto him. This isn't really like a big boss, this is just like a mini boss. Here, I actually use Royal Guard. Not particularly effectively, but it happened. Ah, come here. Also, I have like this double jump right now that actually isn't available with all the weapons. That is an ability Dante just has. Ah, hell. I'm trying to block it, but I'm just getting hit. Also, if I had... kind of wish I still had Cerberus on me. Some of the weapons in this game have like elemental properties to them, and some bosses are weak to certain elements. And this guy's weak against ice, which is what this Cerberus is. So I'd be doing extra damage if I was wailing on him with Cerberus right now. Yeah, if you enjoyed Bayonetta, you would like Devil May Cry. Although the first Devil May Cry feels a little different because it was kind of like the first shit of its kind. Getting my ass kicked by this stupid ass boss. Because the first Devil May Cry only has 2 weapons, which would be the different swords you get that all have the same moveset, and then Ifrit, which is kind of like the Beowulf gauntlets I have right now. They're really similar. Oh, I'm on a pillar. Alright. Yeah, and the first Devil May Cry just feels a little different than the others. There's more backtracking. You're in a castle for most of the game. You go to a couple different areas. There's like a pirate ship, or like a ghost pirate ship and shit, but... the first game also had like a couple areas where you had to like do underwater combat, and it was kind of shitty. It didn't last for long, but it was kind of dumb. Because you had to like swim around in first person, and the only weapon you had was like a needle gun, and bleh. But yeah, this is one of my least favorite bosses in the game. There's one other that's worse, and it's the second last boss of the game. He's just kind of bad. He could have been cool, but it was just kind of lame instead. Sorry I'm making this boss last for so long, but... Whoop, camera angle change. There is one problem with the older Devil May Cry's, is that they have static camera angles for the most part, and they can really get in the way at times. And for anybody looking to play, like, Devil May Cry 4, it has the best combat in the game, but some really uninspired levels, and there are two protagonists. You play as Nero first and then Dante second, and when you play as Dante, they have you play through Nero's levels, but in reverse, and that kind of sours the game a little bit. The combat itself is a ton of fun, though. Wow, I wish I still had Trickster. Royal Guard was a terrible idea! I think Nero's fun to play as. I mean, I don't really care for, like, character or anything. That's not really what I play Devil May Cry for. He has a fun gimmick to his combat with the Exceed system. Oh, can I get him with the rifle? Yes! There we go. Yeah, the biggest difference with Dante between 3 and 4 is in 3, you can only have one style equipped at a time, but in 4 you can switch between all 4 of them on the fly, and it's nuts. But yeah, the Giga P is kind of a crappy boss. Oh, that's right, there's 5 styles. This is one you get later on.
There's no need to use violence, devil boy. Oh, wait. And listen to what I say, lad. This tower here is very sturdy. You see? Your tricks will do no good. No good!
Zip it, or I'll pierce that big nose.
That could be a problem. Just hear me out. You've got nothing to lose, right? My name is Jester, and I know a thing or two about this place. That thing there is a power generator for this entire sector. In order to open the door, you need to apply a little something to it first. Do you know what that is, kid? Or is that too difficult for you?
Get to the point, or you want to keep on dancing?
Actually, I prefer a sword to be my partner. May I have this dance, my lady? Bingo! That is what the something is. Remember that, kid? Write it down on your hand if you don't trust your head.
I see. Thanks. You still piss me off, though.
What rank did I get? Probably gonna be a B. B for orbs. B for style. B for wow. B for damage. This. Yeah, it's B. Bulletin board system. Alright, how long have I been going for now? Does anybody know how long I've been streaming? I have no concept of time because I'm unemployed. About an hour? Good lord, I put 30 hours in this? Alright, I think I might do... another mission or two? I want to get up to the next boss fight. Because the next boss fight is good. Also, yeah, I'll probably upload this stream to YouTube. And somebody mentioning... Oh, Mission 19, where I got a C. Remember how I said there's one boss that's worse than the Gigapede? Yeah, that's where that boss is. Mission 19 sucks because it has the worst boss in it, and I was getting really tired of fighting that boss, so I used some healing items, and using healing items can make your rank drop pretty quick. Somehow I got an S in the final boss, though, damn. What's awesome in the new Devil May Cry is, somebody got the game early, like 2 or 3 days ago, and he played through the whole game. So I left the stream up, and I would check on it every once in a while, mainly because I wanted to see the cutscenes and the bosses. Especially the cutscenes, because, like, the director of that game was so... who was also writing the game, was so into going, hey, if I do my job right, I'm gonna make, like, a Shakespearean story, you guys. And the story is just garbage. And it's really lenient on ranking you, because in this game, the highest rank is double S, which is just getting an S rank in everything in the stage. The new Devil May Cry goes all the way up to triple S for stage rankings. And there were several times in the stream where the guy was playing on normal mode, and he died and also used like 2 healing items, and he still got a double S for ranking on that stage. So it's super lenient. Sure, let's go with that thing. Yes, I would still do videos on something like Elemental Goddess again. We actually... I don't know when I'll put it up or where I'll put it up, but Ironicus and I, a few days ago, did a riff on that, that big Sonic fan film that came out last week, I think, that had Jaleel White in it. We did that. I haven't actually uploaded it anywhere yet. I haven't even done any editing on it yet, so
Well,
it's not up
nothing
anywhere.
special. To be honest, I was expecting something a little better than this.
And number 5 in this cutscene is pretty obvious to see. Oh no, I should have actually brought the shotgun for this level. I'm making poor choices! So these enemies, their gimmick is that if you try to attack them when they're still red, they will just split into smaller versions of themselves and won't die. Until they're really small, that is. So instead you just want to shoot them a bunch so they turn into stone, and then you want to kill them that way. However, you don't want to stinger them, because then it moves them farther away from you. That's a little annoying. And if I had the shotgun, I'd just jump in their faces and shotgun them once, and they turn into stone. See, I just attacked one that was still red and just split into 2. Yeah, there's like a bunch of internet celebs in that video. Nostalgia Critic is in it, and he has like no speaking role. He's just like a random police SWAT guy, and then some robots are there, and then they're like, "We're gonna shoot you, Nostalgia Critic," and then he just stares at them angrily, and then Sonic appears, and he's like, "Wait, that's cool." And Nostalgia Critic just continues to stare at Sonic, and then nothing happens. Alright, so this boss fight with Jester wasn't in the original game. It was added to the special edition. It's kind of more of a mini-boss, it's a pretty easy fight. Also, these orbs he shoots out, some of them are green. If you actually manage to hit the green ones, you get some health back. It's kind of not worth it, though, because it's like a really small green orb, so... And you can't actually hurt him at first, you actually have to shoot at him a bunch, so he does that little tap dancing, and he'll eventually get tired. And that's when you can hit him. When he does this attack, he's just way open. You can just wail on him. Oop. So yeah, he's pretty easy. Is it this door I want? No. This is kind of the problem with these 2 specific missions, is that you have to go back to areas, and it can be a little confusing the first time through. I am still getting confused, actually. I think it's the door up over here. The blue one. Yeah.
get me.
Nope, too late for the taunt. Even after all the enemies are dead, if you taunt like right away, you can still get some extra style. Oh wait, no, I went the wrong way, didn't I? I got the order of things. I remembered this level wrong. I get the pitchfork later. Oh no, this is terrible. Now I have to go back. My entertainment value is dwindling! Well, I could just skip these enemies. Yeah, I entirely forgot to get the fork first. It even showed me in a cutscene, but I wasn't paying attention. Also, there's this door on fire that made me confused really. You don't even go back to this fire door for like another 5 missions. So yeah, you can see how the camera angles can kind of mess you up. It's kind of bad for platforming, which this game asks of you at points. Whoops. Forgot I can't double jump when I have the nunchucks equipped. They don't have air hike, which is what the double jump is called in this game. Double jump. Double jump. Dumbledore. Yeah. Okay. I actually have to go back the way I already was because the stupid walls are blocking me to the other path. Oh no. Yeah, it's these two specific levels where I always get a little lost because those spiral staircases and their camera angles kind of make everything kind of blend together. I mean, they do make the doors color-coded, but it's not like you can remember the color of the doors the first time around. Is it up this? I think it's this way. There we go. Yeah, the new DMC has lots of platforming, and it's like really scripted platforming. Maybe not scripted, like automatic? There's lots of grappling and stuff, and There, now I have the pitchfork.
You scared?
You need that specific pitchfork to push this wheel a little bit. So in that regards, this game is very Resident Evil. Okay, now I have... Oh, right, more enemies. Oops, meant a stinger. I think that's all of them. Oh, no, there's more. Also, that weird jump I just did happens when you try to stinger off a ledge. Dante just goes flying. Like this. I don't think this ever actually required to do anything in 3, but in 1 and 4 you have to actually use that trick to get some blue orbs. Green door. No! Green door is wrong door! Door 1 is yellow door, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's yellow door. P green door. Now that I grabbed the stupid lightning soul steel thing, there's suddenly this here. Okay. There is actually a clue that you should just be able to walk over there. There's a little emblem thing you can read near to where those stairs used to be. And it says, you need the soul of steel to get across, blah, blah, blah. But it's still a little like, oh, I didn't know I could just walk through these invisible stairs. Also, there is a little skull thing on the wall by that elevator, and that's another secret mission if you examine it. Whoops. Almost got knocked off the elevator. I haven't really used the rocket launcher yet. It's good for this elevator, you can just knock people right off. Oh, and myself, if I'm stupid. Because there is a tiny bit of knockback when you use the rocket launcher. There's also a really irritating secret mission later on where you're on this elevator, and if there are too many demons on it, the elevator falls down, and you need the elevator to go all the way to the top so they can get a blue orb fragment. But also all the enemies are devil triggered. They can do that just like you, and if they're triggered, you can't really stun lock them. You can, but it's really hard. It's easier if you're also triggered. Yeah, I'm playing it hard. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Trickster. Probably switch back to the shotgun. Hard is much easier than Dante Must Die. It goes normal, hard, very hard. I think there's a very hard, and then Dante Must Die. And Dante Must Die is the hardest non-gimmick difficulty mode in this game. So I think this is the last mission I'm going to play for the stream because the boss I wanted to fight is at the end here. And I like this boss fight. I'd make a moonwalk, that's just the Trickster dodge.
something. Brother, our guest is sighing. Sigh? What is sigh? Well, a sigh is when...
Enough already! How long are you two gonna keep carrying on like this? In case you didn't get the hint, I'll spell it out. You're a guest. Wants to go through. Got it?
Our job here is to guard this door. That's right. We can't let you pass.
Alright, so this is Agni and Rudra, which is where you get those dual sword weapons from. You can see their heads are actually just on the bottoms of their swords. And you ah, hell, I got timed that dodge wrong. So either I'm going to die and end the stream here, or I am actually going to beat these guys. I'm anticipating that I'm going to die, because these guys are kind of hard. But what I'm trying to do is you can parry their sword attacks, and if you parry them multiple times, they drop their swords, and then they get stunned, and you can just wail on them. Damn it. Also, the red guy's weak to Cerberus. There we go. You can also get these guys to hit each other. Oh, I just parried the other guy. Hell yes. Wail on him. Oh, I'm up to a stylish now. Hell yes, look at this damage I'm doing. Bam! Also, you can see sometimes these guys power up their swords and they have like a little aura over them. That means you're going to do different attacks than before. Aha. Ah, damn it. The other guy attacking me was trying to parry this guy. Now, I don't want to outright kill the red guy yet, because there's something really dangerous if you let just one of them live. I want to get both of them down to really similar amounts of health. Come on, attack me, please. Okay, that's good. I can just wail on this guy. Because what happens if one of them dies, the other guy grabs the other dude's sword, and then he gets a whole bunch of new attacks, and he's a lot harder to fight. So, if you get both of them close to dead, you can just kill the other guy before he can ever power up.
Very long time. For someone stronger than us. Someone who can control us. My name is Agni, and my name is Rudra. You shall take us with you. We can be a great help to you.
Okay, but on one condition.
What is it? Name it.
No talking.
Fair enough. As you wish.
I played the demo, I haven't played the new DMC yet, because it literally just came out today, and there's like no leak for the PC version or anything. Maybe I'll rent it or something. I don't really want to like pay money for it.
No talking.
I mean, yeah, I want to play through the whole thing, because I like to do an LP comparing DMC 3 and the new DMC, because I think it'd be kind of interesting. Probably gonna get a B again, maybe? Oh, maybe I'll get an A, actually. Hooray, again, A. B sass. Shut up, cat. My cat is garfing. Alright, well that was the first 5 missions of 20. I don't know, maybe I'll stream more of this game later, but I think that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. So thank you for watching. And yes, I will upload this stream to YouTube probably later tonight. So if you just got here or you missed a bunch or whatever, I'll tweet a link to it later. So good night.